Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Dragon Ball Nation. Now today I'm doing my weekly Q&A, so let's get right into this. What is the last thing you do before bed? Well, aside from like brushing my teeth and all that stuff, 'cause that's obvious. I usually just check like my YouTube notifications, make sure all my social media stuff's all caught up, because I like to respond to things, you know, ordinary stuff. SSJ Vegeta. First time chamber training, which is, you know, a lot of people put the abbreviated ROSAT, but time chamber training is what that is. For those of you who don't know, Super Saiyan Vegeta, after his first trip in the chamber versus Semi-Perfect Cell. I've always wondered who would win. This is an interesting question that I've thought about, and I haven't really discussed this with anyone. But in the manga, at least, I'm actually not sure what the anime said exactly, but it was easier to remember the manga. Vegeta, when he came out of the time chamber to go fight Cell, obviously he fought Cell in his ascended Super Saiyan form, and that's all we saw of him. It was unclear exactly of if he could have beaten him as a Super Saiyan or not, but if I look at that, you know, Trunks says once Vegeta, you know, because Cell was so surprised that Vegeta said that, Vegeta had stated all he needs is himself to beat Cell. He doesn't need Trunks. Trunks is just a spectator, and that was true. And Cell was so surprised, and that could be, you know, chalked up to, you know, Cell doesn't have any idea what he's getting into, and, you know, Cell's cockiness from all his different genes. But I think that Super Saiyan Vegeta actually might have been able to beat Cell. Not by a lot, but I think he might have actually been able to beat Semi-Perfect Cell, and here's why. Trunks, when Vegeta's about to power up, Trunks says what he's already powering up, as, you know, Trunks is surprised that he's doing it at this rate. Almost like he doesn't need to. And another thing to point out is that Android 16 kind of sensed Vegeta's energy, and him and 18, you know, 18 was saying, you know, Vegeta's gonna get crushed because she has no idea what Vegeta's even changed like. I guess her sensors obviously aren't as good as 16's, so she was ready to get out of there. But Android 16 sensed Vegeta's presence and energy, and he says, wait till the fight starts, Vegeta's changed somehow. And whether or not he could have read Vegeta's inner, you know, ascended Super Saiyan form, or if he just was basing it off of the Super Saiyan transformation he was in, which was a base, you know, the base Super Saiyan form, that's unclear. But I think it is actually in the realm of possibility for Vegeta to have been able to beat Cell, but it's unclear. But I actually do think that, considering how, you know, we don't know how big of a boost Ascended Super Saiyan really gives you, but considering how badly he demolished Cell when he went Ascended, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that his Super Saiyan form could have actually defeated Cell as well. It wouldn't have been a cakewalk, but I think he probably could have done it. But I'd like to hear what you guys think of that in the comment section down below. That's an interesting discussion right there. Let's see. Have you ever seen the movie Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels? If not, then you should check it out. It sounds like it's a Western, but I have not heard of it and obviously nor seen it. But it does sound interesting. It kind of sounds like a Western movie, but I'll check that out. Would you ever get into a fight if you had the strength of Super Saiyan 4 Goku? No, but I'd use it as an intimidation factor, definitely, and I'm sure the army would be after me. The military would definitely. Actually, every country's military would probably want a piece of me, I'm sure. How did Goten and Trunks learn new techniques in the hyperbolic time chamber if they didn't know how to meditate? Well, meditation is not really anything to do with learning new techniques, so I don't understand the question necessarily. I mean, they can just learn and make up their own attacks. It's not something that seems to be too difficult in the Dragon Ball universe, especially with their insane potential. Thank you for asking my who would win fights. My name is Bugatti Griff. Well, alright. I think I remember the question that this was before, but alright. You can actually, what you can do is you can, since you have to sign up to ask questions on Ask FM, I believe, you can set it so you show up not anonymous. So if you really want me to see your name whenever you ask a question, you can do that, as long as you have an account. Metal Cooler versus Android 17. I mean, I think Android 17 would crush him. I mean, unless you're taking into consideration, which I'm not considering the whole big Gettyscar guys, because that whole thing complicates things. If you're talking about the regular Metal Cooler with no, you know, refixing of his systematics and, you know, making him stronger, I would definitely say that 17 could beat the regular Metal Cooler. I mean, because Goku did it, and you know, depending on when that movie even takes place, which I think it's implied to be around the 3-year gap. I think that since Goku blew off half a Metal Cooler, you know, I think that 17 would be able to beat Metal Cooler pretty easily. SSJ Goku GT versus Buhan. I mean, I would give it to Goku, but it would actually be a closer fight than a lot of people think. Gohan End of Frieza Saga versus Captain Ginyu. I'd give that one to Gohan. Krillin End of Frieza Saga versus Ginyu Force. No Captain Ginyu. I would give it to Krillin even if Ginyu was there. Probably. Well, we'll just leave out Ginyu, but I think Krillin could take them. Because I think it's actually implied that the longer Krillin had the, you know, potential unlocked from Guru, I think it was kind of slowly unlocking more and more to a certain degree. Don't quote me because I don't actually remember specifically, but I do think I remember hearing that somewhere, but I'm not sure. How strong is base Vegeta in the manga? I would still, even though he didn't fight Buhan in his base form in the manga, I would still say Vegeta would have to be at least stronger than Super Saiyan 3 Goku, I would imagine. That's just my opinion. How strong is base Goku SSJ God Essence? It's very hard to say. I mean, I've seen the movie, but not in English yet, and I don't even know how accurate the subtitles are from the versions that I've seen. I've seen a couple different ones, and the subtitles are varied. So I don't know how accurate they are, because I think they may even be fan-subbed. So I can't really say on this. Kid Gohan, beginning of Android Saga versus base Goku Namek Saga. Oh, well, be specific what you mean by Android Saga. Do you mean after the 3 years of training? Then I would say probably Gohan, I would imagine. Before then, I would give it to Goku. Do you like the look of SSJ 5 Goku? I mean, it's okay. I think Super Saiyan 4 is still better, but it's an alright design. I just don't really prefer the color palette, I guess. Do you think 18 owns Krillin with a strap-on in the bedroom? For a lot of our fan fictions out there, and you know, some people's fantasies, I would hope she does not. That'd be a pretty terrible thing, I would say. But hey, maybe Krillin's into it, man. We don't really know. If you don't eat rice, the power won't come. True story. Well, I eat plenty of rice, my friend, so the power is inside of me. Don't know what the hell this says, and I'm not going to try to pronounce it. If Dragon Ball Z and Super all falls under Earth 7, does that mean Dragon Ball Z and GT is Universe 8? I doubt it. No one knows. I've always thought it'd be cool if, you know, and it's obviously such a far-fetched thing, but if GT was another one of those universes, which is a 99.9%, you know, impossibility at this point. I don't think it's ever going to happen. That would be something interesting, you know, maybe at the end of Dragon Ball Super, they just kind of, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Goku sees Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and they're about to go fight, and it kind of cuts to black. That would be a cool ending to the series, I think, to still leave that fight into the interpretation of the viewer. Do you think people can date in the afterlife, real and in Dragon Ball? Well, real's a different story because it's about whether or not you believe in the afterlife or not, and I'm not going to get into all that business here. For Dragon Ball, I mean, if they're keeping their bodies in heaven and stuff, you know, certain individuals, they can definitely date. The depictions of hell in the filler where they have the souls floating around, I mean, I can imagine it could still date because there were the, you know, it was filler, but there were the people on that love boat, you know, in the pool of blood. They were on the rowboat. They're obviously two individuals that were together, a couple. So I think it's possible, but it depends on your perspective, I suppose. If you could have a role in a TV show, what would it be? I would totally be a Dragon Ball Z character like Goku or anything like that. A strong character. But yeah. Do you think Frieza could have been trained by Master Crane? I mean, anyone can be trained by him, but I don't think that's why he got his training in the film. What do you want to see in Dragon Ball Super? Well, as of now, I want them to start picking up the action a lot more. That would be something that'd be pretty cool. Because we've gone through a couple episodes. I can understand why it's starting off slow to get the people that are coming from Dragon Ball Kai back in the groove of things. But I'd like to see it pick up in action soon.
As far as new villains, I mean, that can be a whole nother discussion in itself on what kind of villains I want to see, and I might be able to do a discussion if I can really make it worth the video. You know, I want to see them introducing Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan again, bring more of that. We need to see more Beerus and Whis backstory on the whole God form for Goku, and you know, maybe some of Frieza's training. I'd like to see stuff like that. Do you like Beerus? Yes, actually, Beerus is a very interesting character. Are you looking forward to episode 4 of Dragon Ball Super? Yes and no. It's an interesting thing because I like Pilaf and the gang, but they keep going on and on with this, you know, no action, and that's fine for some people. For me, it's starting to get a little weird, but I think there's going to be a lot of comedy in episode 4, so I am looking forward to it. And episode 5 is apparently when Goku and Beerus first start fighting. What happened in episode 4 of Dragon Ball Super? Well, this week they actually weren't showing the episode because I think they were having some 24... I think they actually called it 27 hour of television for Fuji TV, which 27 hours, you know. That's what they called it, not 24 or 27. So they didn't show the episode, but it will be on this Saturday, you know, 8 p.m. and Eastern Standard. Then you can do your time zones from there. There's a fan theory about Bond being a Time Lord. Have you seen the fan-made 007 video where you just see Bond just keep regenerating into the next body? No, I have not at all seen that. Best thing that's happened to you this week? Huh. That's an interesting question, actually. I don't think I can really answer it, though. My week's been pretty uneventful, really. I mean, I hit 15,000 subscribers, which is awesome. But I really don't have anything interesting that happened this week, so I'm sorry I can't really answer. Do you remember the Legend of Zelda cartoon? Unfortunately, I do, yes. And I remember the Philips CDI animated cutscenes. The horror that they brought to the table. Ever use a blow-up doll? No, I wouldn't waste money on such a thing. Would not. You know, to be quite honest, not to be, you know, filthy or anything, but I'm sure they wouldn't even feel that good. So, you know, just being honest here. Wouldn't feel morally right to buy something like that. When is the multiverse storyline ever going to happen in Dragon Ball Super? Maybe in like the episode 25 to 30. That's my guess. It's hard to say because I still have to do a Resurrection F arc. So yeah. Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball Z Kai? I always stick. I'm saying. I know I'm gonna get hate for this because there's a lot of Kai fans out there, and there's a lot of people that don't like the original dub for Z. I like Z over Kai because I read the manga, so I already know everything. So Kai's not really worth it to me. Z, I like a lot of the filler in Z, to be quite honest. So, you know, the Garlic Jr. arc I think is terrible, but there's a lot of filler in Z I like. There's a lot of funny lines that aren't exactly accurate, obviously, but there are funny lines. I just like classic Z. That's why I own all of Z on Blu-ray and not all of Kai on Blu-ray. So that's just my opinion. I know a lot of people disagree, and that's fine. I'm pretty used to people disagreeing with my opinion. It's not anything that bothers me at all, actually. I do agree that Kai is a superior version of the show, absolutely. Does not mean at all that I have to like it more. That's what opinions are for. So yeah. Do you think 18 owns Krillin with a strap-on? We already answered this. What if Piccolo started to date? Well, I don't know who he'd date, but it'd probably be Quan, man. You know, put in the comments, guys. You guys understand the joke. Quan Man's huge Piccolo fanboy. So put down in the comments hashtag happy anniversary Quan Man. I don't know, man. Someone come up with a funny hashtag, and whoever it is, everyone just go off of that, man. I can't think of one off the spot. If I do, I'm gonna be sitting here for a long time. But we gotta take a shot at Quan Man because he took a shot at me in his other video, saying I was wrong about him having 2 shirts, alright? So many people probably don't understand what I'm talking about, and that's fine. That's what makes it funny. Anyways, moving on. What if Android 8 got upgrades with by Bulma to become stronger? What do you think his limits in terms of power level? It's really an impossibility to determine. It's quite impossible to determine what his limits would be. So, updated question. What if Android 19 became good instead of 18? What would his life be like? I mean, he can't really become good, I'm sure, because he's so mechanically designed and not really flawed. So he's so strictly designed to be evil. Unlike 16, who I think actually in this question when they said 18, they may be talking about 16. But 16 was a completely mechanical android as well. But he had a flaw where he was kind of, lighthearted in some aspects. So he kind of chose to be good in some ways. So I think that that's the thing about it. 19 he can't really become good. I can't read this. I'm sorry. I don't know what new language this is, but I can't read it. What if 19 became good instead of 18? I already kind of answered this. What if 18 never Chris Krillin back in the Cell arc? Well, I mean, it's possible there'd be no Marin, but what would that really, would that really make that big of a deal? I mean, I guess Krillin would have no problem pressing the button, so that's a whole what if. I think that, I'm sure people have done what ifs on what if Krillin pressed the button to destroy 18. I'm sure it's been done. I haven't done it. I don't think I'm going to do it. But it would cause a lot of problems, definitely. If, he had no connection to 18, really. What would Vegeta be like with the press if he became the world champion? Well, if you guys have seen Dragon Ball Super Episode 3, when Vegeta's at that dance crowd, you can probably imagine what he'd be like. Especially the Vegeta from the Cell and, early Buu Saga. I mean, come on. Why would Hercule choose to go into fighting when 1, he can't fight, 2, he's scared to fight? Wouldn't he be better off becoming a movie star if he only wanted fame and fortune? Well, actually, Hercule's a very skilled fighter. He just doesn't like fighting stronger opponents. That's his thing. So, let's see. If the Earth was getting booted and everyone you knew has to be rewritten, who would you fight? Well, I really don't understand this question, so I really don't know. At the time of real life anime, I can't answer this. I don't really know what the question is. What do you think would happen to Hercule in the history of Chunks timeline? Well, he was probably hiding, and he's probably still in hiding, or he died. No, you know what happened is since he tried to fight Cell at the Cell games, and he had no idea that Cell was such a powerful warrior at the time, until he started shooting all that stuff, he was really sure it was magic tricks. He would have tried to fight the androids in the future timeline, and they would have killed him no problem. That's what probably happened to him. I think he tried to fight the androids, and he died. Do you think Frieza was trained by Master Crane? I already answered this. Do you think people can date in the afterlife? I already answered this. Do you think Dragon Ball Z older movies would have been awesome if they had an after credit scene where we see the villains of some movies meet up in hell and have Frieza offer them a place at his side and stood a chance for revenge, and all the movies were leading into Fusion Reborn? I mean, I guess that'd be cool, but it ultimately obviously amounts to nothing because they all got dominated in Fusion Reborn. So, Chicken Man does whatever a chicken can. Lays an egg any size, can't you see? Well done, you crushed it. Hope you're happy with yourself. Look out, here comes the Chicken Man. Cheesy trumpet plays. Well, alright. Not really a question, but I did say it. How is Gotenks 8 to 10 times stronger than Super Saiyan 3 Goku in the Buu Saga? I've heard you say this before. I explained this in a video that I did, and basically Gotenks pre-time chamber is implied to be around Super Saiyan 3 Goku's level. Goku was confident that Gotenks as a Super Saiyan was enough to beat Fat Buu. So if he's around the realm of Goku, he's probably still weaker after the time chamber training, based on how much Piccolo had said he improved. He was so shocked at how much Gotenks' strength went up. Gotenks' Super Saiyan will probably have to be above Goku. And then if you do Super Saiyan 3 on top of that, which is 8 times Super Saiyan 1, there you go. He's 8 to 10 times stronger than Goku based on how much the time chamber really gave him. Same goes for Super Buu. That's why Super Buu is so much stronger than Goku. And I'm going to be doing a video in the future, guys, on Super Buu versus Kid Buu. I know it's kind of a dead topic, but there's still a lot of debate. And I kind of want to end it here with my video that I'll be coming out with. Even though, no matter what I say, even though my evidence will be completely conclusive and, you know, straightforward, there's obviously going to be people that are still going to disagree no matter what. So yeah. But that basically does it, guys. You know, we got these questions right here. You know, I've already discussed, you know, my power is already rising from my rice. You know, there's nothing to be done about my power here. And we'll answer these 3 questions just to finish this off. If Super Saiyan, if SSJ Gogeta and SSJ Vegeta fuse together somehow at full power, do you think they could take on Beerus? If we're saying no time limit, I'll get a lot of flack for this, but I definitely think that they probably could beat Beerus, actually. If we're talking about Battle of Gods era fusions fusing together, even though they'll be Super Saiyan still, not counting Super Saiyan 2 or 3, I definitely think they'd still be able to beat him. Because you're taking fusion and then you're multiplying fusion again. That's such an insane number that I don't think Beerus can take that on. I'm sorry, I know I'll get a lot of flack for that, but that's just my opinion, guys. And, you know, fusion's something that's really undercut in Dragon Ball. And I've had a lot of people say that I overrate fusion, and that's their opinion, and I have mine. I don't think I overrate fusion at all. I think most people undercut fusion. Let's see. Is it okay to torrent the Ocean dub of DBZ? It's the only way you can get it, and I doubt you can get it on DBZ anytime soon. You do whatever you want, man. You didn't hear it from me, but torrenting is just as bad across all boards as what it is. So if you're gonna do it for one thing, you do it for all of your stuff. Not saying I do torrents, because I don't really have viruses and all that stuff, and it's not really a very respectable way to get a hold of things. But if it's to get something like, you know, maybe an emulator or something that's not available anywhere else, like, you know, I guess the Ocean dub, yeah, online's your only source, then go for it, man. I can't really blame you. Who do you think will win Beerus versus Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta? I personally think he would destroy the entire GT verse. I did a video, and it is a video on, is Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta the strongest character in Dragon Ball? I think he would take a shit on Whis. That has been the Q&A, guys. You know, if you want to check out that video, I'll link it down below too, because I know a lot of people will probably be angry at me for saying that. But that's been the Q&A, guys. I'd like to thank you all for watching this. You can ask me questions down on the link below. But that's been it, guys. I'd like to thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you later.